World War II was a conflict that spanned 6 long years and left in its wake a wave that completely altered human history. Its stories of tragedy, bravery, sacrifice and triumph have been documented and retold countless times. However, beneath the surface of this historic upheaval, there lie numerous enigmas that continue to intrigue historians, conspiracy theorists and war buffs. Today, we embark on a journey back to the 20th century and discover the untold stories and mysterious secrets of the historic World War. Starting off, we encounter an intriguing tale of an unbreakable code that confounded even the brightest minds of the century. This was the Enigma machine, a cryptic device that was used by Nazis to encrypt their messages. This machine turned out to be an impenetrable barrier that threatened all Allied forces. Developed in the 1920s by Arthur Scherbius, a German engineer, the machine was a complex electromechanical device that could scramble messages into unintelligible code. Its design featured a bunch of complex machinations that could scramble messages into an undecipherable code known as ciphertext. Efforts by the Allied forces to crack the Enigma code proved futile until 1941, when one machine fell into the hands of the Allies. One of the figures who was at the forefront of trying to break the code was Alan Turing, a British mathematician and computer scientist. The unexpected windfall provided crucial insights into the German encryption system. Next up, we look at the case of Raoul Wallenberg, a Swedish diplomat who vanished without a trace. It is said that Wallenberg risked his life to save thousands of Jews from the Holocaust, only to fade into the unknown under mysterious circumstances. What became of this man? Well, let's attempt to retrace his steps. During World War II, Raoul Wallenberg served as a Swedish diplomat in Budapest, Hungary. He saw the grave danger faced by the Jewish population and decided to take action. He utilized his diplomatic status to issue protective passports known as Schutzpasses, which granted Jewish people Swedish protection and shielded them from deportation into concentration camps. However, one day in January 1945, Wallenberg's heroic mission took a turn for the worse. The Soviet Red Army arrived in Budapest and took control. Shortly after, Wallenberg was arrested by Soviet forces under mysterious circumstances. Despite attempts by numerous nations to secure his release, he disappeared into Soviet custody, never to be seen again. His fate remains a subject of speculation and uncertainty, even to this day. In the decades following Wallenberg's disappearance, his story garnered international attention, and efforts to uncover the truth intensified. His family, governments, and human rights organizations relentlessly pursued answers, seeking justice and closure. Countless appeals were made to the Soviet Union and later to Russia to reveal any information about Wallenberg's fate, but solid evidence has remained elusive. The mysteries of World War II actually go beyond human intrigue and involve sightings of strange objects and unexplained phenomena. It is reported that in the heat of battle, unidentified flying objects, UFOs, were seen, raising questions as to whether there were extraterrestrial entities during the war. Let's take a closer look at these claims. During World War II, numerous reports surfaced of unidentified flying objects, witnessed by both military personnel and civilians. These sightings often described objects that moved at incredible speeds, performed extraordinary maneuvers, and exhibited flight capabilities far beyond the capabilities of known aircraft at that time. One of the most famous incidents was in 1942, following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. On February 24, 1942, UFOs were spotted in the skies above Los Angeles, triggering a massive anti-aircraft artillery barrage that lasted several hours. However, despite the intense barrage, no evidence of enemy aircraft was found, leaving the incident shrouded in mystery. Similar sightings were reported by pilots and air crews from both the Allied and Axis forces throughout the war. These encounters were often dismissed as misidentifications, atmospheric phenomena, or the result of wartime stress. However, some believe that these sightings could indicate the presence of advanced aircraft or even extraterrestrial technology observing the conflict from above. Well, what do you think? World War II served as a backdrop for clandestine experiments and the development of advanced technologies. Both the Axis and Allied powers engaged in secret research projects, striving for military superiority. We uncover the mysteries of these covert experiments, from the development of stealth technology to the pursuit of devastating weapons that blurred the line between science fiction and reality. One notable example of covert experimentation was the development of stealth technology. The Nazis, for instance, were rumored to have developed prototypes of stealth aircraft, such as the Horten HO-229 Flying Wing. Similarly, the Allied forces conducted experiments with radar-absorbing materials and aircraft designs to minimize their detection by enemy radar. The pursuit of devastating weapons was another mysterious aspect of World War II. The Manhattan Project, a top-secret Allied endeavor, resulted in the development of the atomic bomb, which ultimately brought about the end of the war in the Pacific. The project itself was surrounded in secrecy, and the scale of its implications and long-term consequences of the atomic bomb remain subjects of ethical and historical debate. These enigmatic projects, often surrounded by rumors and speculation, add to the mystique and intrigue of World War II. Another mystery regarding World War II actually revolves around its main character, Adolf Hitler. There's been mystery and speculation over whether Hitler actually died in 1945. According to historical records, Adolf Hitler died by suicide in his bunker in Berlin on April 30th, 1945, as the Allied forces closed in on the city. However, the circumstances surrounding his death have led to persistent conspiracy theories and doubts about the official account. Some conspiracy theories suggest that Hitler did not die in the bunker, but managed to escape, leaving a body double or a lookalike behind. These theories propose that Hitler may have fled to South America, specifically Argentina, where he supposedly lived out the rest of his life in hiding. Supporters of the escape theory point to alleged eyewitness accounts and declassified FBI documents from the post-war period that reference Hitler's potential survival and sightings. The mystery surrounding his death, fueled by secrecy, speculation, and lack of conclusive evidence, continues to captivate the imagination of some, but the majority of historians consider the matter settled based on the available information. Tell us what you think. Do you think Hitler actually died in 1945? Moving on, we delve into covert operations shrouded in secrecy. Among them, a top-secret mission known as Operation Overlord, more commonly referred to as D-Day, which, as it emerges as a turning point in the conflict. With meticulous planning and precise execution, the Allies launched an audacious assault on the beaches of Normandy. Yet, behind the scenes, a clandestine operation was simultaneously taking place, one that would change the tide of the war in favor of the Allies. We uncover the mystery surrounding this covert endeavor and its profound impact on the outcome of World War II. In the early hours of June 6, 1944, a fleet of Allied ships and aircraft descended upon the Normandy coast in a display of military might never seen before. The objective of Operation Overlord was to establish a foothold in Nazi-occupied France, paving the way for the liberation of Western Europe from German control. However, what many may not be aware of is the extensive covert operation that preceded the D-Day landings. In the months leading up to the invasion, the Allies employed various tactics to mislead and deceive the German forces, creating a diversionary campaign aimed at keeping them guessing about the true location and timing of the invasion. The Allies employed deception techniques such as inflatable tanks, fake radio traffic, and fabricated intelligence reports to convince the Germans that Fusag was poised to launch an invasion at Pas-de-Calais, a location northeast of Normandy. The strategic deception successfully diverted German attention away from the actual target. The mystery surrounding the covert endeavor lies in the level of secrecy and deception involved. The Allies went to great lengths to ensure that the true intentions of Operation Overlord remained hidden from the enemy. The planning and execution of such a massive operation, involving thousands of troops and intricate logistics, demanded an extraordinary level of discretion. Before proceeding, be sure to leave a like for the algorithm and subscribe to our channel clicking the bell. This will encourage us to do better and you'll never miss any of our weekly videos. Occultism had a presence during World War II. as various individuals and groups within the Axis and Allied powers explored and utilized mystical beliefs, ancient symbols, and supernatural practices for military and ideological purposes. While occultism didn't play a significant role in shaping the outcome of the war, it did have some impact on propaganda, intelligence operations, and the personal beliefs of key figures. One notable example is the interest Adolf Hitler and high-ranking members of the Nazi Party had in occultism and esoteric beliefs. Hitler was known to be fascinated by the occult and sought to use it to further the Nazi cause. The Nazi regime employed various symbols, such as the swastika, which has its roots in ancient religious and mystical traditions. They also attempted to reconstruct the Aryan mythos and believed in the existence of supernatural powers associated with ancient Germanic folklore and legends. On the Allied side, there was also instances of interest in the occult, although to a lesser extent. British intelligence agencies such as MI6 considered the possibility of harnessing occult beliefs and practices for intelligence gathering and psychological warfare. They explored the potential of using mediums, psychics, and astrologers to gather information or influence enemy decision-making. However, their initiatives were generally short-lived and had limited practical success. All the same, the war had these elements of mysticism that added a layer of mystery and otherworldliness to it. The legend of Yamashita's gold refers to the alleged looting of vast amounts of gold and valuable artifacts by the Japanese forces under General Tomoyuki Yamashita during World War II. It is named after General Yamashita, who commanded the Japanese forces in the Philippines and Southeast Asia. According to legend, as the Japanese military advanced through Southeast Asia, they plundered treasures from various sources, including national treasuries, banks, temples, and private individuals. It is believed that the looted valuables included gold bullion, precious gems, artwork, and other priceless artifacts. After the war, as the Allies were closing in on the Japanese forces, there were reports of the Japanese burying or hiding their stolen treasures in various locations, particularly in the Philippines. The exact extent of the looting and the value of the treasures involved remain uncertain, as there is no concrete evidence to support the claims. The legend gained significant attention in the 1970s when a Filipino treasure hunter named Rogelio Rojas claimed to have discovered a portion of Yamashita's gold. Rojas stated that he found a secret underground chamber containing gold bars and other precious items. However, his claims were met with controversy and legal battles, and the recovered items were confiscated by the Philippine government. The death of General George S. Patton, one of the most renowned American military leaders during World War II, remains a subject of interest and speculation. On December 9, 1945, General Patton was involved in a car accident in Germany, which eventually led to his death. The accident occurred near Mannheim, Germany, while Patton was on his way to go pheasant hunting. His 1938 Cadillac staff car collided with a U.S. Army truck at a slow speed. Although initially he seemed uninjured, Patton later complained of neck and chest pain. He was taken to a hospital where it was discovered that he had suffered a cervical spinal cord injury. After the accident, Patton's condition worsened and he developed pneumonia. He died on December 21, 1945, at the age of 60. His death was attributed to a pulmonary embolism, which is a blockage of an artery in the lungs. While the official cause of Patton's death is well documented, there have been persistent conspiracy theories surrounding the circumstances of his accident and subsequent demise. Some theories suggest that he was intentionally targeted and that the accident was an assassination attempt orchestrated by individuals who wanted to silence him or prevent him from publicly expressing his opinions. These theories often speculate that Patton's outspoken nature, his criticism of the Soviet Union, and his desire to continue the war against them made him a target for those who wanted to maintain a more conciliatory approach with the Soviets. However, these claims have never been verified, and the circumstances behind his death remain shrouded in mystery to this very day. In conclusion, World War II holds a treasure trove of mysteries waiting to be unraveled. We have touched upon just a fraction of the enigmas that continue to captivate our collective imagination. From unbreakable codes and covert operations to unexplained phenomena and clandestine experiments, the secrets of this era persist. challenging us to seek answers and deepen our understanding of one of the most significant chapters in human history.